Hi friends, how are you today? My name is Apple and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing some quick tips on how I clean UV resin, including brushes and containers, as well as how I store my tools afterwards. As you may already know, working with UV resin can get quite messy. But the good thing is that it will not cure unless it's been exposed to UV light. So the first thing I do when I work with UV resin is to make sure that my curtains are drawn to prevent any natural sunlight from getting to it. To prevent spills from ruining my lovely desk, I work on top of a silicone mat or baking paper. However, sometimes it's inevitable that I will make a mess, and here's how I would clean it. I would use rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol and put it on some paper towel and then just wipe the resin away. You can easily find rubbing alcohol from your local drugstore. Now, to clean my brushes, I have a confession. I do not clean my brushes and containers every time because it does use a lot of time, and also because the resin does not cure as long as I store it away properly. So what I usually do first is that I would rub off the excess UV resin with some scrap plastic.
I will first take some scrap plastic and I will just wipe it off like this. Wipe off any remaining resins on there, like that.
By the way, I've been using the same brush for 3 months and it still looks pretty much like brand new, I would say. Then I would wrap my brush in aluminium foil, or even I found that I can recycle my nitrile gloves by flipping them inside out and then just using it to wrap around the brush. I would also wrap my container as well in case there are sticky parts on it. And then I put everything away into a Ziploc bag or a food storage bag and store them into a drawer or a box, keeping them safe away from the sun. And this way, the next time I take them out, I can just resume using them as normal. However, sometimes I do want to do a big cleanup because I might find that I've put too much resin on my brush or in my container, or everything is just starting to get too tacky and messy, and this is what I would do. For the wet resin still on my brush, I would gently rub the bristles with rubbing alcohol to remove any remaining resin. And then I would soak and rinse the container with warm soapy water. I use dishwashing liquid in the soapy water, or I find that this baking soda solution also works really well. And then give it a good rinse, and then everything is almost as good as new. If the resin has cured, I would peel off as much of it as I can and then use alcohol to remove any sticky residue. Finally, I would wipe my workspace down with rubbing alcohol after each crafting session to avoid any sticky surprises later. And that's it. These are some ways that I use to keep my resin crafting tidy. If you found this video helpful, it would really mean a lot to me if you would give it a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you for being here and happy crafting.